Okay, so today I'm itching my hand, but I'm making a DIY CO2 thingy. So what you'll need to do, need for this is 2 bottles, some, I'm using super glue, but you can use like silicone, hot glue, whatever you want really. Some airline tubing, a drill and drill bit, some scissors to cut the airline tubing, and yeah, that's about it. So in one of the bottles we're going to be drilling 1 hole, and in the other we're going to be drilling 2. This is a 3/16 bit in here that is horribly bent, but it should be alright. So this is the bottle I'm going to be drilling 2 holes in. 1, 2, and this one's going to get 1 hole. Good. I'm actually going to get a razor blade to clean that up right there. Let me grab one real quick. Good enough. Alright. So one of these we need to be pretty short. We're just basically just going about this far-ish in each of them. So, something about this. This is about, I don't know, probably around 1 foot, maybe a little bit longer. And we're just going to shove this in 1 hole. I'm going to take the cap off. That'll be smart. And it's easier if you cut this stuff at an angle to do this, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just twisting it on in there. Got some of it poking through, so I'm just grabbing it and giving it a pull. So we got about yay far. Gonna do the same thing on the other end. And I'm using regular airline tubing here, but you know, I should probably be using CO2 tubing, but I don't have any, so airline tubing will be fine for now. See how much easier that angle makes it? Alright. And if you don't like the angly bit, you know, you can just cut it off. Then we're going to stick our other longer end, probably. This is the end that hooks up to the you know, your CO2 diffuser. Bunch of plastic stuff. I'm gonna cut this one too. Alright, now we need to glue it up. I'm using super glue. You might be asking yourself, does super glue even stick to airline tubing? And, well, I have no idea. So, we're going to find out. If it doesn't, you know, I'll just use some silicone or something. Trick on the super glue, if you know, it always gets clogged up inside the thing. If you just use a needle or a pin or something, poke yourself a hole on in there and get the needle stuck because you're an idiot. It makes it a lot easier. I generally use a pin because they have like the thing on the end, like one you'd use for sewing. This needle was more convenient. Got it. Alright, now let's glue this up. Oh, and I almost forgot. Actually, I did forget. But on the one that comes into the 2 holes from the 1 hole, you want it to be quite a bit further down, because it needs to go under the water that we'll be putting in here. So I guess it's good I made this thingy so long. And that looks about good. See it in there? It's about halfway down or so. That should be fine. Let's glue it up. All we're doing is, you know, putting the super glue on. It's not that complicated. Good. Good. Alright, so I got it all glued up, as you cannot see. And I'm just going to wait for this to dry. I'll just go ahead and leave it overnight, I guess, and I'll come back tomorrow. Alright. Today I'm making the DIY CO2 for the experiment tank. So what you'll need: some cold water, some hot water, half a cup of yeast, 1 1/4 tablespoons of active dry yeast, and our contraption from earlier, and a funnel. This is a funnel. Sorry it's so dark, but honestly, y'all don't really need to see this. It's not that complicated. So into our hot water, we're going to add our... You also want something to mix with, like a spoon or something, and something to measure out your yeast with and your sugar. But anyways, we're adding our half cup of yeast into our hot water. good now. Let's mix it up. On the contraption, most people use like a soda bottle, mainly because, you know, they're able to withstand higher pressures and it's less likely to explode everywhere. But I don't really think you'll also need a CO2 diffuser, by the way. But as I was saying, I don't really think it's going to explode, so. But I'm going to put it in a box and kind of put a lid over it just to be safe. Alright, so we got our sugar dissolved pretty much. We're going to add it to our bottle with the one hose in it. We're just going to set our funnel in and pour our sugar water in there. I'm leaving just a little bit in there so we can pour some of our cold water in and mix up our yeast, because you need warm water to mix the yeast. Hot plus cold equals warm. So there we go. Let's do the mix. See, that's pretty good. Now we gotta add our yeast. You'll also probably need some scissors to cut open your yeast. But is this really not like have perforations or anything? It is not. Okay. I'm just going to give it a cut in one of the corners here. Shake it all down. We're going to cut it so it doesn't go everywhere. Should be good. None of this measuring really needs to be all that exact. So I'm going to pour the yeast in my spoon over the thing so it doesn't go everywhere. Come on. It's not one. And that's about a quarter. One more for good measure. Perfect. Alright, let's give this a bit of a mix. Alright, we're going to let that sit for a few seconds. We're going to add some of our cold water to our hot water until it is warm water. feels pretty warm. Alright, let's pour our yeast in. Pour some more of this cold water in this cup to get the rest of the yeast. That might have been a little much on the water side, but that's okay. That was a lot much on the water side, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down a lot so it, you want this not in the solution. So. I cut it flush with the top, basically. And I'm going to screw this thing on. So now, we might have to get some more cold water, honestly. But we're going to pour our cold water, or warm water, whatever, it doesn't really matter all that much, into this one. And I'm going to need some more. Alright, got some more. We want it, enough water in here so that our long tube is covered in water, but our short tube is not. I'm going to put in, however, that's too much. I want it to be about at half. Alright, that looks good. So now we're going to screw our long tube on. And this second bottle is to make sure the yeast and sugar crap doesn't get into our diffuser. Alright, so we got the hose covered, about an inch or so I'd say. Alright, and now what I forgot, you'll need a CO2 diffuser and a check valve. Alright, so first we need to get a spot for the check valve. We want it to be in the tank all the way, but not too far out of the tank, so I think about this length will be fine. Just tighten it. Shoving our check valve on. We want the wide part to be on our bottle side and the skinny part to be on our diffuser side. Alright, I barely got it on there, but I'm done. So now I'm going to put the diffuser on. We do this on the end of the tube. I'm going to use the flat part of some needle nose pliers. Alright, got the rest of the way on there, as you can see. Now I'm going to get my box. Let me move y'all on up. Can you even see? Not really. That's okay though. So I'm just going to stick my bottles here in this bucket. I'll get a lid for it shortly. And stick my diffuser in the tank. This one. Alright, gonna get a lid for this, but then I'll just slide it on under. Just like that. And it'll probably take a couple hours, but eventually it'll be making CO2, hopefully. Unless I screwed it up. So, that's how you do it. It's got real bent there, but, you know, yeah. Bye, guys.